Welcome to Fairy Tales -1.
Hello, little dreamers, and welcome to our cozy corner of stories. Are you ready to drift away on a cloud of wonder and imagination? Good, because the tale I have for you today is a truly special one about a girl who saw the world in a way no one else could. Get comfy, snuggle in, and let your minds twinkle, because our adventure begins now with a story called Luna and the Lumina of Lost Things. In a town nestled beside a whispering river where cobblestone streets wound like sleepy snakes and houses stood shoulder to shoulder, lived a quiet girl named Luna. Luna wasn't like the other children. While they chased bouncing balls and giggled over secret jokes, Luna often had her gaze fixed on something else entirely. She saw a shimmer. A soft rainbow-like glow, barely there, like heat rising from the pavement on a summer's day, but oh so real to Luna. This magical sparkle, she called it the Lumina, danced around things that everyone else seemed to forget. A tiny chipped teacup left on a park bench, a single faded glove dropped beside a bustling market stall, even a forgotten pebble in the cracks of the sidewalk, all pulsed with this faint, enchanting light. At first, Luna thought everyone saw the Lumina. She'd point excitedly, "Look, the Lumina around that lonely feather," but her friends would just blink and ask, "What Lumina, Luna? It's just a feather." And her parents, kind as they were, would smile gently and say, "That's a lovely imagination you have, dear." Luna soon learned her special sight was hers alone, a secret gift. This made her feel a little bit lonely sometimes, like she was living in a painting with extra colors that no one else could appreciate. But mostly it filled her with a quiet wonder. She began collecting the small, forgotten things drawn by their soft glow. Her bedroom became a treasure trove of tiny trinkets, each one humming softly with its own Lumina, reminding her that even the smallest, most overlooked things held a hidden beauty. A single tarnished button, a smooth sea glass shard, a delicate, unspooled thread, all were precious to Luna. As Luna grew a little older, her unique sight seemed to grow stronger too. The Lumina wasn't just around tiny, lost bits anymore. She started to see it swirling around bigger, more important things. An old, forgotten playground swing set, creaking sadly in the wind, glimmered with a faint Lumina. A dusty, abandoned book tucked away on a high library shelf glowed with a warm, inviting light. Luna wondered if the Lumina meant something more than just forgottenness. Could it be a whisper from the past, a longing for remembrance? One crisp autumn afternoon, as leaves danced like golden fairies in the breeze, Luna was walking home from school. She passed the old clockmaker's shop, a place that had been closed for as long as she could remember. Its windows were grimy with years of dust, and a sign, half fallen, simply read, "Tiber." Most people hurried past, not giving the shop a second glance. But today something was different. From within the darkest corner of the shop's front window, Luna saw a Lumina so bright, so intense it practically hummed. It wasn't just a faint shimmer. It was a dazzling, pulsating rainbow of light pouring from a small, unadorned wooden box tucked behind a stack of forgotten cogs and gears. This was no ordinary forgotten thing. This was a beacon. Luna felt an undeniable pull, a strong sense that this particular Lumina was meant for her. She rushed home and excitedly told her parents about the incredibly bright glow she'd seen. Her mother's eyes widened. "The clockmaker's shop, Mr. Tiber? Oh, he was such a kind man," she said softly. "He closed his shop many years ago after something very precious was lost to him. He was never quite the same." Luna's father, knowing her special gift, looked thoughtful. "Perhaps," he said, "your Lumina is trying to tell us something important." With her parents' help and a few inquiries around town, they learned that Mr. Tiber, now a very old and quiet man, lived just a few streets away, a recluse in his small house. After explaining Luna's unique vision, they were granted permission to carefully enter the dusty old shop. The air inside was thick with the scent of old wood and forgotten time. Dust motes danced in the slivers of sunlight that pierced the grimy windows. Luna's heart beat a little faster as she followed the brilliant glow. There it was, exactly as she'd seen it, the plain wooden box, now even more magnificent up close with its dazzling Lumina. Carefully, she reached out and picked it up. It felt warm in her hands, as if it held a tiny sleeping sun. It looked like an ordinary box, no fancy carvings or decorations, but it vibrated with untold stories. She opened it gently, and inside, nestled on faded velvet, was a tiny rusted key and a small crumpled piece of paper a child's drawing of a sun with a wobbly smile. There was no music mechanism visible, just this key and drawing. Holding the box carefully, Luna, accompanied by her parents, went to visit Mr. Tiber. He was a stooped, gentle man with sorrowful eyes who seemed to have forgotten how to smile. Luna held out the wooden box. "Mr. Tiber," she began softly, I saw a very bright light coming from this box in your old shop. A special light. It means it's very, very important." Mr. Tiber blinked, looking at the box with a distant gaze. "That old thing," he murmured, his voice raspy. "I don't recognize it." So many things were left behind when I closed the shop. Luna, emboldened by the lumina still pulsing from the box, gently urged him, "Please look closer. It feels like it wants to be remembered." As Mr. Tiber took the box into his hands, his fingers brushing against the plane, would something shifted in his eyes. A flicker of recognition, then a wave of forgotten memory. He carefully touched the tiny key inside and then the faded drawing. His breath hitched. "The key, the drawing." He whispered, his voice thick with emotion. This is my Lily's music box and her last drawing for me before she left." Tears welled in his eyes as he remembered how years ago he'd accidentally misplaced the tiny unique key to the hidden lock that wound the music box. Without the key, the music box became just a wooden box, and slowly, painfully, the sweet memories of his daughter Lily playing with it had faded into a dull ache. With trembling hands, Mr. Tiber found a tiny, almost invisible slot on the side of the box. The rusted key fit perfectly. He turned it slowly, and as the mechanism caught a sweet tinkling melody, light as a butterfly's wing, filled the quiet room. It was the most beautiful sound Luna had ever heard. And as the music played, something extraordinary happened. The dazzling lumina that had pulsed around the box began to fade, not disappearing completely, but transforming into a soft, warm, golden glow. It wasn't the light of forgottenness anymore. It was the glow of remembrance, of joy, of a memory brought back to life. Mr. Tiber, his face awash with tears, and a wondrous smile, hugged Luna tightly. "You found it, little one, you brought her back to me," he exclaimed, his voice full of life for the first time in years. From that day on, Mr. Tiber was a changed man. He reopened his clock shop, not just fixing clocks, but filling it with the cheerful sound of Lily's music box, sharing its melody with anyone who came by. And Luna, she understood her gift truly. It wasn't just about seeing forgotten things. It was about bringing light back to the world, helping people remember what they had lost, and filling empty spaces with warmth and joy. She continued to see the lumina around forgotten things, but now, instead of feeling lonely, she felt connected, a quiet guardian of the world's hidden memories, ready to help them shine once more. And with that, our adventure ends for today. If this story sparked your imagination and made your heart glow, a like would be wonderful. And if you want to join us for more magical adventures and heartwarming tales, subscribing ensures you'll never miss our next story. Until then, keep your imaginations sparkling, and remember, sometimes the most beautiful things are just waiting to be seen. Sweet dreams, little dreamers.
See you again, and do like, share, and subscribe the channel. Fairy Tale.